Good morning and happy Sunday. I feel like I've fixed my audio issues. I tested multiple times again this morning. I made some changes. I think we're there. I don't want to have 2 weeks in a row I have to pull down the video. Last week I pulled it down. I enjoyed last week's video. I was sad to hear that there were so many audio issues. Uh, I pulled it down, which is sad because I really enjoyed this series, but hopefully I fixed it. We're going to jump in here. This is my every week clearing the bases. I had to think about it for a second because Dan's Vintage Baseballs PC always changes it in text messages. Clearing the bases episode where I cover a lot of different things that happen in this mostly sports card world in the past week that didn't rise to the level of their own video. It is late today. I stayed up late last night. I went out to a show. I saw John Mulaney, Fred Armisen, uh, Mike Birbiglia, and Nick Kroll in Portland, Maine. It was fantastic. I didn't get to sleep until about midnight, though, so I slept in this morning, which was nice. Today's my last day of vacation, which is crazy. Not nice. All right, we're going to share my screen, and we will jump in here. All right. First off, I went out, and I bought my first box, and probably only box, of Topps Chrome. I bought a mega box and pulled this Aaron Judge Ultraviolet, which is apparently a case hit. And I was thinking about it. I looked it up. Values are roughly $80 to $90, and I thought, geez, I could make my money back on my box that I bought. But then I thought, why? Why don't I just hang on to it? I bought it because I wanted the cards, and I know I don't collect the vast majority of the cards that are in there. I have 2 Judge cards, and that's all I need. But then I said, well, I don't want to go through the trouble of trying to sell this. So I decided I was going to keep it. And if I had pulled this, which somebody pulled out of a retail blaster, this is the James Wood rookie 1/1 Superfractor from Topps Chrome. If I had pulled that, I absolutely would have sold it because that's worth a couple bucks, a little more than $80. I don't know what it's worth, but it is worth a large amount. No matter what, though, when you're ripping, whether you pull a Judge, a James Wood 1/1, you got to protect your cards using the penny sleever. This video is sponsored by the penny sleever. Go to thepennysleever.com, use code JWH2025 for 10% off your first order. I use 4 or 5 key products from them: the card sleeves, top loaders, semi-rigids, and their slab bags, which you have to use, especially the PSA slab bags are amazing. Perfect fit. JWH2025 for 10% off your first order at thepennysleever.com. All right, this is I thought this was an interesting one. Patty Collects posted, "Is this card being shilled? I find it strange that an account with 0 feedback keeps bidding up the price." And you can see here they showed this user U starts with U, ends with 9, bidding it up and has 0 feedback. And a lot of people ask, is this shill bidding? You can't really tell. You can speculate. Can't really tell on the app, but as I Am Meatballs points out, if you're on desktop, you can click on the bidding accounts to get more info about their bid history. And this is really important. A lot of people are commenting that they never knew this. This person has 0 feedback, as we already know. They've bid 166 times on 39 items. 100% of the items, 100% of their bids are with this specific seller, which I don't know what the chances are of that being shill bidding, but it's got to be just as close to 100% as it can possibly be. So this is a great way to tell if it's shill bidding. You can't be in the app. You have to be on desktop, Facebook, not Facebook, eBay.com. Click on bids. Boom, there it is. Hopefully some of you learned something. I learned that not too long ago, and it is invaluable. All right, Rich Moy posted about SGC that you see last month in, I guess it was just the weekly. I thought so. I might have misread this. This is the weekly grading recap, and I guess it kind of makes sense that they graded fewer cards since they were not at the national grading, and CGC and PSA were. So let's disregard this item from my list today. PSA announced a new grade and sell special, $50 a card, which is 33% off regular service tier pricing. You have to sell your entire order through PSA, which I'm sure won't be a problem for a lot of people. So if you have 20 cards, you sell them all, send them all to regular. They are going to list them all at 99 cents for you. No shipping fees, no number of card minimum. You just do one card. I don't know if this is a good deal. It feels like it is. So let me know in comments if you're planning on doing this. If you like this, I'm not going to be doing anything with PSA, so it doesn't matter to me. But I think this last line says it best. PSA's role in the secondary market is expanding rapidly. Yeah, I assume that they have an IPO coming up. They're planning an IPO there because they're doing a lot, and it feels like there's a lot coming. And Greg picked up on something. Greg of Midlife Sports Cards picked up on something in Nat Turner's interview with I don't remember who it was with recently, but boy, I should remember this. It was a really good interview where Nat said he wants to spend the next 5 years at PSA, and he quickly caught himself and said, or 10 or 15. But it seemed like he realized what he was saying was going to be captured in a way that he didn't want it to be. So yeah, PSA very, very, very well run in terms of growing revenue. We won't talk about their quality or anything like that. Hobby stays hot. Record $308 million spent online on cards in July, according to Card Ladder. More than 5.5 million transactions logged by Card Ladder. This is second consecutive month where there was a new record. 306 million in June, 308 in July. And it's interesting because the National started at the end of July, and everybody says, oh, the market's colder in the week leading up to the National. And maybe that's the case. Maybe it would have been like 320, 330. I don't know. But it's interesting to see that it still set a record even with the National there. This is interesting. eBay sales from the PSA store have more than tripled in a year. So July 2024, there were 22,000 sales on eBay from the PSA store. July of 2025, there were 72,000. And then Probstein had 2,300 sales the entire month of July. And M&T Trading says these third-party consigners are cooked. 2,300 sales the whole month of July for Probstein. 26,000 unique sales 2 years ago, July. So down 90% in 2 years for Probstein. I thought this was interesting. National Treasures is one of Panini's top products, yet no autos of, and then he lists 7 of the top quarterbacks, and he ends up acknowledging he got Mahomes wrong. Mahomes is apparently in the checklist, but 6 of the top quarterbacks are not signing. Patches, he doesn't believe are game used or player associated. So why are box prices so high? Why do people want to rip? And then there are people in comments saying, I love Topps even though it's not licensed. And then there's somebody else saying they don't care if the player has worn the patch or not, which is crazy to me. What's the point of the patch? Just to have a patch next to the player of the picture of the player. I cover these a lot. I don't know. This is 2025. Sorry. This is 2025 Topps Chrome, Felix Hernandez. Of course, there aren't new photos of Felix playing because he retired. How long ago did he retire? 6 years ago? So it might have been this year, that year. 5 years ago? I don't know. This is the photo of him in 2025 Topps Chrome. And here he is in 2019 Stadium Club. It's the same photo. If you're a player collector, does this upset you? Would you still want to buy this, even though you already have this one from 2019 Stadium Club? Feels like there should still be more photos out there, but this is a great photo, right? Thanks to Auburn 35, the legend. Topps is standing by the authenticity of their Lionel Messi autographs. Remember, we've talked about this quite a few times. The PSA is denying authentication of Lionel Messi autographs uh, that are on Topps certified cards coming out this year and maybe last year too. I don't remember. But Topps is saying, no, actually, these are good, but they will replace any of the cards. They will remake and replace any of the cards that have been rejected by PSA, and they're having Messi sign more. All right, I get tag bots every time I mention PSA in the title. A lot of people will say people commenters come out and say you should grade with tag, and people think I'm joking. People think that I'm just making fun of these commenters, but I'm not. They are sure there are definitely tag fans out there, and I think tag has a lot going for them. But there are also legitimate bots out there, and Neo has talked about this a bunch too, that just automatically comment on videos that have PSA in the title or SGC in the title or whatever. And here's again Auburn 35. This is a Michael Jordan 97 Flair showcase, and they have this as a row two. Here's row two, 1 of 1, Patrick Ewing. And these are all labeled. These are both labeled incorrectly by tag. And so is AI capable of telling the card with certainty? We do know after they released a statement last year that humans are reviewing every single decision they make, which good, I guess. But I mean, that's not really AI. You're not getting the scale you want from AI if humans are reviewing every decision. Are humans also reviewing the labeling decisions? I don't know. Uh, yeah, there's a lot to say about that. But here we have this card was pulled out of a box at the National, 1987 Fleer, opened from a pack at the National, and immediately authenticated and graded a PSA 10. That's pretty awesome. Topps is doing their first boxing set since 1951, 74 years since they did boxing cards. Here's Floyd Mayweather. These are coming out tomorrow, Monday. Well, pre-order are anyway. You have Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I won't be buying these, but I can see how these would be popular. Of course, boxing was at its peak in the first half of the 20th century. One of the most popular sports in America, if not the most popular. Baseball, of course. Uh, this Mickey Mantle in a CGC Authentic, which, I mean, yikes, sold for about $14,000 last night through Golden. This is own appeal, right? Dan's vintage baseball PC. You want to own it just for the sake of owning it, and you don't care what it looks like. This is own appeal. Two big tickets sold at Golden. Tiger signed his first PGA tournament ticket, or not ticket, but I don't know what these are called. I guess it's a ticket. Tiger signed, and then Kobe signed his 81-point game 81-point game ticket. Tigers went for 21,000. Kobe's went for 15,000. I like those. All right, Chris McGill, House of Jordans. In 2016, this Ichiro autographed. We'll get back to this. 2001 Ultimate Collection, number to 250, PSA Gem Mint 10, sold for $10,000 in 2016 on Golden. Last night, It sold same exact cert number for $293,000. So it 29x'd almost in 9 years. All right, I just want to talk about this not because it's a great story, which it is. She pulled a pack and she got the Caitlin Clark Gold Prism, but I just want to talk about the marketing. And this is masterful marketing by Fanatics. You've got this Fanatics Collect account. It looks like it's run by Eric Whiteback, too, which I probably it's got to be right. Awesome hobby moment with the hearts. It's definitely got to be Eric Whiteback. She opened a $20 pack and found a card worth nearly $30,000. It's not, so this is not actually a Topps or Fanatics card, which would make this even better. A few packs in, she pulled the Caitlin Clark card, rookie number to 10. Kind of find that makes a collector for life. A PSA 8 recently sold on Fanatics Collect for $30,000. Now, if you don't think Fanatics is going to end up buying a grading company, particularly like CGC, is my guess. I want to know why they wouldn't. They can put in a post like this a Fanatics card in a Fanatics slab and show how much it sold for in a Fanatics platform. It's coming. I don't know. I don't know when, but it just feels like Fanatics has to buy a grading company. I don't think it'll be PSA. In fact, I'll be surprised if it is, although it would kind of fit. Anyway, Caitlin Clark, immaculate logo woman, 1 of 1, sold for $317,000 last night. Third highest sale for any Clark card at public auction. She now has 11 public sales of 6 figures or more. Paul Skeens and Andrew McCutcheon are on their first ever dual autograph card with the Topps All-Star Cup. This is coming out in Topps Finest this week. I think that's pretty cool. I always like these. I hope Skeens stays with the Pirates. I hope he stays with them forever. I hope the Pirates become good. All right, we talk about this a lot. This is a Harry Houdini 1 of 1 cut autograph, and they actually fit the autograph in, which is awesome. Good job to Topps for actually fitting in a cut autograph into the frame. And they show in the marketing a photo of Houdini, but he's not on here. And I've got to wonder if they just don't have the license to show his photo, because it would look so much better. It would be, in my opinion, it would be so much more collectible. Not that I would ever get a 1 of 1 Harry Houdini, but Shohei's 1000th MLB hit, Topps Now card, autographed 1 of 1. And of course, it was a home run. He actually hit his 40th home run last night, I think, right? Yeah. I haven't bought a Topps Now. I guess it was Christian Campbell's call up. It's the last one I bought. I've only bought 2. All right. I told you I'd update you on this because I think this is really cool. This is the 8x8 Bulls, part of the United Center Bulls court. 8x8 foot floor, signed by Jordan with a bunch of inscriptions. Currently bidded up to $189,000. This is something you put on your wall, right? You just put it up as a wall, basically. I got a few Heritage Auctions items that I thought were really cool. 2 weeks left. This is the King Kelly 1888 N162 Goodwin Champions in a PSA 8, currently at $24,000. This is a great card. It doesn't feel like an 8 to me. It feels like it's a little too off center, but whatever. It's an amazing card. And then we have this 1998 Skybox EX 2001 Griffey. Only 10 of these, right? Yeah, number 10. Great looking card. Cards just don't really look like this anymore. Sweet cap. Walter Johnson hands at chest. Looks like Tom Brady. $107,000 currently. PSA 9. This is the Mickey Mantle last name in white variation of the 1969 tops. PSA 9 currently with 2 weeks to go at $403,000. This looks like a diamond cut. In fact, you can kind of see it's wider up here than it is down here. All right, got some news from Sports Collectors Daily. This Clemente sold for $1.15 million, setting a new record for PSA 9 Clemente rookie. That's a great looking PSA 9. 1.15 million. Not bad. It's a pretty good sale. This is Patrick Ryan, P. Ryan Collection on Instagram. Bought a Babe Ruth autograph on a sheet of paper, autograph book page, and then he decided he was going to get more autographs. So he had Tom Brady sign it. Here's Brady. So there's the Brady added onto the sheet. And then he got Wayne Gretzky. And then here's Messi signing it horizontally, which doesn't look great. I don't know why he did that. And it goes off the page too. But then he also got Michael Jordan to sign it. Very cool. All 5 goats on one sheet of paper. I don't know what the value is. Patrick Ryan says he's keeping it forever. He's going to give it to his kids when he dies, I guess. Very cool piece, though. Got a slab by PSA. All the autographs are authentic. NSCC attendance record. This is, we know 100,000 people have attended the show each year since 2023. And we also know that there's been 10% growth each of the last couple of years or 3 years. So yeah, it is safe to say this year's attendance was over 125. I guess 150, that might be a little high. But Thursday and Friday seemed busier to me than it ever has. It was just jam-packed. You can see here, I don't know what day this was, but these are people just waiting to enter. This must have been a modern case because it's packed. Anyway, that's a lot of people. Former Miami Heat security officer charged in multi-million-dollar jersey theft. This guy was a 25-year retired veteran of the City of Miami Police Department, and he stole more than 400 game-worn jerseys and other items, which he then sold to various online marketplaces. Over a 3-year period, he sold over 100 stolen items for approximately $2 million and shipped them across state lines. Womp womp. Often for prices well below market value. For instance, Sotheby's sold a jersey worn in Game 7 of the 2013 NBA Finals by LeBron. It sold for $3.7 million. Perez had sold earlier to another individual for approximately $100,000. So this guy's in a lot of trouble. This is different from the one where the guy took his own life, the Mr. Man Cave guy from a few weeks ago. And I'll be curious to see what happens with that one. I'll be following that story. Detroit was picked as the 2028 national location. A lot of people are upset about this because Detroit has a bad reputation as a kind of a dirty, unsafe city, but it has been rejuvenated. If you talk to anybody who goes there, lives there, is from around there, they rave about the amount of money that has come into Detroit, what amazing things they've done to the city in the last, 10, 15 years. So I'm excited to see it. I've actually never been to Detroit outside of the airport. So yeah, looking forward to that. You should also, before you go to Detroit, watch Detroiters, starring Tim Robinson on Netflix. One of the all-time great comedy shows, especially the first season. Uh, PSA, what did I open this one for? Oh, yes, I do remember. This is the first Mantle home run ticket stub brought into PSA at the National by a collector from Chicago because the game was at the White Sox 74 years ago. First Mickey Mantle home run ball. I will be very curious to see what this sells for. If it sells, maybe he's just hanging on to it. Pretty neat. This is the 2007-8 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection dual logo man autographs. Jordan and Kobe just hit $5 million in bidding. Yeah, that's a big card. I tried finding this post, but I think he deleted it from Facebook. This was in the Sports Card Nonsense page. This person says, you guys ever use this junk? Kurt's card care just ruined my favorite card. The polish ate the gold etching out of the numbers. Ugh, you guys. Look, if you're gonna clean your cards, which you shouldn't, if PSA detects it, then you're not gonna get it graded. But if you just want to clean it for whatever reason, you should be testing it on not your favorite card. It's crazy to just be like, hey, here's my favorite card. I'm going to put this foreign substance on it. Oh, man. And apparently it does look like this was his first time using it. It looks fresh. All right. We've talked about AI to make cards before. This is Manny Machado, tops now 2000th hit pre-sale, and it's not Machado. This is AI generated. Like, let me just, this is clearly not him. And you can even tell, but here's the photograph that it's from, and it's definitely a different person. It's not even him. It's not even a person. It's just an AI generated image, I guess. And then the PSA cert goes to a 1984 Fleer update, Roger Clemens. And yeah, just be careful out there. Livy Dunn. I know I didn't really have a reason to include this, but then I thought 98% of my viewers are middle-aged men. She's got some Leaf autograph cards coming up. There you go. This is very cool. This is 25 years in the making, a Mickey Mantle autograph collection. These are, I believe, all reprints. Not all reprints, obviously, but the very old, like the 53 tops, 52 tops, I believe 51 Bowman. These are all reprints. None of them are graded. They look way too clean. But he has so many Mantle. Like this 58 tops All-Star Mantle looks legit. There's just a lot of Mantle autographs on iconic cards. It's really cool. Anytime an athlete shows off all the cards they've signed all in one, I'm going to show it. I just think it's very fun. It's very cool. Fred Lynn here does that. He does that quite a bit, actually. And this guy at the National had all these 91 and 92 Donruss Elite cards. All these are the Ripkins, which is crazy. Look at how many Ripkins there are. But he's also got all the others too. Boggs, Joe Carter. Really cool. And then Giles, I guess, 1932 U.S. Caramel Presidents blue set he's selling. or sold, I guess. It's a pretty neat collection. I like this type of thing. I don't collect presidents or politicians or anything like that, but I just like seeing neat, unique collections. Speaking of cards not being made the way they used to be, 1995 Pacific Gold Prisms, Ken Griffey Jr. Look at how awesome this card is. '24 Panini Donruss Bomb Squad collection complete. You can see all the cards here. Again, just I like seeing unique collections. It's fun. You're all familiar with cats squeezing into boxes, but have you ever had your cat squeeze into your uh, 3,000, 5,000 count box like this? My cat wouldn't try. My cat's way too fat. I just thought that was adorable. Um, oh, I didn't really have anything to add here. This is a guy who pulled a Barry Bonds ultraviolet autograph 1 of 1, and it was his first time ever ripping a pack, he said, but he has since deleted the post on Reddit. So I don't know. It's a little unusual. But again, before we go, make sure you are using the Penny Sleever JWH 2025 at checkout for your first order. And I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I'll be working in my office today after breakfast. I finished staining the back of my house yesterday. My arms are sore, but I've got a lot of work to do in my office, and I'm excited about it. So thanks very much for watching. I will see you all soon.